Yeah, Laura Lee, we're standing on the edge of this lake right now that's at full flood stage. That's very important to the stormwater runoff of a core section of downtown Titusville. What we're really concerned about is the amount of water we've absorbed in the last few days. We're going to have even more if a large development is allowed to take place over here on the other side of this beautiful lake with their 40-foot tall townhomes coming right down to the edge of this lake. This lake drains all the way around through several other neighborhoods and eventually goes out through the heart of downtown Titusville into the Indian River.
Oh, I'm well aware of that, Tom. So let me make sure I understand. Your property line goes right against the back of this lake.
That's
and
right.
Actually it wraps around this entire neighborhood. You own that whole strip of conservation land that buffers this neighborhood from over there. So what could happen, they could take out all of the trees except for a 25-foot buffer right up against this lake. When you have a big wetland system like this, the upland borders that are around that wetland system are critical for the functionality of the wetland system, because the trees on the upland parts absorb tremendous amounts of stormwater. So those trees that are up the hill behind this pond, those trees are absorbing mega amounts of stormwater and keeping that stormwater from going into the wetlands and eventually flowing down into this lake and into these neighborhoods that border this large wetland.
But when you put 60 or 70 townhome complex up there with all the impervious surfaces and parking lots that they have,
yeah,
then you're going to have a situation where you cannot control that water.
Right.
And additional waters will not be stopped by the trees and the pervious surface. It will end up in here, and we're talking about a serious flood problem, particularly during high impact moments like what we've had.
Right.
The water also rushes off of Park Avenue another 25
That's
feet
true.
or so above
That's true.
where we're standing
That
now.
is right.
So this area is getting pushed water from many directions, including with velocity coming off of
Yep.
high hills.
Yes, that's right. Yep. You're like at the bottom of a basin here, and the
That's
water's
right.
coming
It is.
at you from all
It
directions.
is. And flows on around through the heart of the town, where
Right.
then it
Underground. It's underground as it's going through the heart of Titusville.
Right.
Through pipes that aren't big enough to handle the amount of water that's coming at them. And that's why it backs up in this area and the water just gets higher, because the pipes that go underground that take it to the Indian River Lagoon aren't big enough to handle the volume of water that's coming at them.
The parking lots and the impervious surfaces they're going to build over there are going to cause even more water to run off of that property, which is 25 to 30 feet higher than this lake is anyway. So their water that isn't absorbed by those trees and their impervious ground over there right now is running into this lake anyway. And then what they're going to do is build 60 to 70 units on that hill over there above this lake with all of those parking lots that are involved, and that water will not be contained on that property.
There's
and
no way they can contain it.
It will end up in this lake, which is already at max flood stage as
Right.
we speak.
And all the water from their parking lots and their rooftops and their street system is all going to go down into all of the conservation lands.
The property is already approved, Laura Lee, for 16 single-family homes. They want to go to 60 or 70 and call it low density.
Right, yeah.
Which is just kind of a word salad, is it not? A complete trickery there in the way they say things, because that is not low density.
There's a beautiful neighborhood right on the other side of 405, just right on the other side of where this proposed development is, called Serrano Point.
Right.
And there's probably about the same amount of residential units there, around a dozen or 15, something like that. And it's gorgeous. And the homes back up to every home backs up to the woods, but it's very, very low impact. There's a few driveways and a few rooftops, and that's it. That development is mostly containing its rainwater. The rainwater is soaking into the ground where it falls. It's not having to be funneled or anything else. The rain is staying where it falls. And that kind of development could be done on this piece of property right here too.
And that is already approved for that over there, and we are good with that.
Yeah.
And then they come in with this plan where they want to do something that's just crazy right on top of what's so important to the drainage of our system here.
So I was riding down Sisson Road yesterday on my way down to Port St. John. I went the back way, and I went by the entrance to Verona Estates, which is a high-end development. And right there on their sign, this is what they're marketing: woodland lots. You know, homes that back up to the woodlands. Well, that's exactly what could be done here.
Right.
With
exactly.
a very, very nice
Low impact.
Low
residential.
impact,
And
yeah.
another thing too is that the pattern of development in this area has all been single family residence, with the exception of 2 apartment complexes that are kind of around the corner. And Serrano Point is the most recent development. So all of the development in this area is like this. It's single family residences.
Absolutely.
There's no multifamily here. There's no 40-foot high buildings. A development with 40-foot high structures is completely incompatible with the pattern of development in this area. And it could set a precedent for additional developments of that type along this 405 corridor, which borders our huge conservation area. This conservation area is so unique. No other city in Brevard County has anything like it, and we need to preserve it. It's ours. It's ours. It's uniquely Titusville, and you can certainly do reasonable development, but the kind of development that's being proposed for here is totally out of character and totally inappropriate to be adjacent to our conservation land.
It's just not the right kind of development for this area.
That's correct. That is
That's
right.
right.
You are right, Tom.